friends, welcome back. Today I'm here to share my autumn fall sewing plans with you. So I have here 8 fabrics that are uncut and ready to be paired with some patterns, but I've also got some handmade items that I've made last year, some thrifted pieces, as well as some ready to wear items that are on my wish list. So my goal this year is really to shift away from just like trying to make everything, but really into thinking like, how am I going to actually wear this? What does feel like my personal style, what is practical for me to wear on a day to day, so that what I'm making actually ends up getting worn. So I'm really excited. I definitely have like a color palette and a theme. It's not a full capsule wardrobe, but a lot of it is very like mix and matchable, especially, yeah, not just like within the things I want to make, but also within like the greater context of my wardrobe. So I'm really excited about some of these projects and I'll share a little bit about them. So typically I like to do like a full wardrobe planning session. I've used the Seamwork Design Your Wardrobe course in the past and have really loved that process. I didn't go as in depth this time because for when I've like done that process a couple of times now, I'm also greatly going to be like leaning on and integrating the information I learned about myself from going through the Curated Closet book and workbook that I'm still in process, but I gathered a lot of information about myself last year with that was super helpful. So I'll be bringing that in as well. And I have like a lot of kind of fall-ish mood boards that I've done in the past, and I still really like basically all of them. And I think for me, like, I've seen how my style has changed largely within like shapes and silhouettes, but when we're looking at like colors, like print motif, texture, that stuff is fairly consistent. So I'll still be leaning on kind of the aesthetics of those past mood boards that I have made while taking in kind of the more like practical information that I've gathered about myself from the Curated Closet about what I actually like to wear and what I want to be wearing on a day-to-day basis. For outfit formulas, I'm really liking the like long skirt fitted top or short skirt fitted top. Both work really well with tights and boots. I can layer them up like with cardigans or jackets. So that's one that I definitely want to be focusing on. And then the other one would be like a wool sweater on the top, some kind of like collared shirt underneath, and then a really like cozy, nice trouser. So I've got a couple ready to wear ones that I will be looking at. They're really nice and they kind of fall into that like, I want to say like eclectic academia vibes. I really like the whole like wool sweater over a collared shirt that gives me very like professor, yeah, aesthetic kind of thing, especially like in velvet, corduroy with like wools and plaids, very like classic textures, colors, shapes, especially for fall and winter. But then I'm going to be adding some like patterns in there as well to give it a little bit more yeah, eclecticness, to give it a little bit more personality. So that is kind of where I want to go with those outfits. And then particular for the like long skirt kind of vibe, I've got some knee-high brown boots that I really love. And I really like, pop in this picture, actually. This is the one that always kind of comes to mind of this like Western boho kind of vibe. So on the boho side, we have like these very flowy shapes. We have materials that move really nicely. So a lot of like viscose or chiffon, I think works really well. But then on the like Western side, to style these long skirts with like boots or even like a flannel overlay or a chore coat, I think works really well. And I think does kind of combine like the fact that I grew up in the middle of nowhere, but also like really like, yeah, all things like boho. So it really combines a lot of good vibes for me. So those are kind of the structures that I will be moving through with these outfits in mind. So for the first one, I want to make a Helmi blouse, just like what I am wearing today, except I want to make the long sleeve version. So I have this beautiful viscose, which I think is going to work really well layered underneath things. So that has been like one of my favorite go-to outfits last year was this blouse with this beautiful wool sweater over the top. And then usually I really like these straight leg velvet check trousers. These are Levi's that I thrifted last year and I absolutely love them. I think they're so fun. I think they're like somewhere between like professional but also quirky and silly because of they're velvet. So they feel a little bit like old man professor, but also very cool. I don't know. I really like them with this like kind of bluish gray and black, and then with the green over the top. Now, the thing is about this sweater, I absolutely love it. It's so, so warm, but I also need to be protected from it. It is wool and alpaca, and someday maybe I'll become a knitter and knit my own sweaters so that they are not itchy. But this one, so warm, so itchy. So I really need like chest, neck, but also like arm and wrist protection. So I love wearing it over this, but then I also have to wear like another layer to protect my arms. It's like all of my long sleeve shirts are scoop necks, so that doesn't protect my neck and chest. And then the ones that do protect my neck and chest, like don't protect my arms. So that's what I need to remedy this season with a couple of blouses that have collars. So I'm going to make a Helmi blouse like this one, but with the full length. And I think it's going to work really nicely in this viscose. I think it'll be really good for layering because it is super duper drapey and soft. So it would definitely like get wrinkled underneath the sweater, but it's going to kind of form to my body rather than be like a bit like stiff and bulky, which kind of happens with this one as well. So I am really excited about this one. It's such a pretty kind of like vintagey art deco kind of print. So yeah, I've had this in my stash for ages and I'm excited to finally make something up in it. The next look includes a top that I sewed up last year. So this is the Seamwork Goldie, and I absolutely love this one. It's in a bamboo jersey. It's a scoop neck with a little like puff sleeve on it. And I wear this all the time. It's such a good staple. And yeah, the chocolate brown, like it does really go with everything. And I love like this color combination. So this I got recently. It is the Atelier Brunette Little Tiles collection, or part of the Little Tiles collection. It is a viscose linen with this really pretty, like, I guess it's a jacquard weave, with these little squares in there that catch the light really nicely. I love a textured solid, and this one is so pretty. And when I got it, I was thinking it would be really fun to kind of play on these little boxes in the design with something with box pleats. So I have been thinking through how to do a pleated skirt with this fabric that would also have like some kind of adjustable waist function. So obviously with pleats, you can't do like pleats and elastic. Um, I've seen it on ready to wear, but I've never been able to wrap my head around how to sew that. But what I was thinking I could do is like a wrap skirt and have yeah, a tie on one side and then like buttonhole elastic on the inside. So I would have like a little bit of give and stretch there. And so I'm probably going to end up just drafting something for this one. But I have 2.5 meters, so I definitely have enough to play around with. But yeah, this will be like a pleated wrap skirt with this pretty long sleeve knit top. Of all my plans, this is the one that I'm like the most unsure about. I talked in my fabric haul about how much I love this Liberty fabric that I got last month. It's so beautiful, and I want so much from it. I want it to be something I can wear all seasons. So I'm thinking, and I fully reserve the right to change my mind on this, but what I'm thinking right now is to make a chalk and notch Shay dress. Probably not like the pattern comes as a maxi, and I would probably just put it at like above the knee so that it's something I could wear like throughout the seasons. I know the Shay bodice, those princess seams fit me really, really well. So I would be really happy to commit to that pattern. Now, a tank dress, like going into the colder months, is not ideal, but I did make up this sheer black Dawson top a couple years ago now, and I really like wearing this under tank dresses in the fall and winter time. I think it is super, super cute. It does get a little bit sweaty if I'm honest, because it is like a polyester, not even like a nylon. Like nylon I do okay, but polyester is a little tough. But it's so cute. And so I think that they would be very cute together, kind of doing more of like a classic like a pinafore style. I'm really liking that. Yeah, like wearing tank dresses over long sleeves, under cardigans. So yeah, basically using it like as a layering piece in the winter, and then I can wear it on its own in the summertime. So I may or may not make some modifications, perhaps like to the back, opening up the princess seams a little bit and then using some elastic to have some flexibility back there rather than it being like totally fitted. But again, I have had really good experience with the Shay in the past. So I think that that will be really pretty and a good way to get a lot of wear out of this print that I love so much. So next I have another like sweater collared top combo that I would wear with another pair of Levi's velvet trousers. These ones, though, are a flare leg, so they're like extra 70s with the velvet and the flare and this like kind of houndstooth pattern. I really, really love these. They're super comfortable. They've got a lot of stretch in them, so I wear these a ton. And basically, what I want is that same green sweater comes in kind of this like cloud blue, like pale blue. And I think that that would be really cute with the brown. So I want to pick up another one of those. They have it as just like the regular sweater, but they also have one that has like a little sleeve frill that's very cute. And I thought that that would be very fun over this sheer cat viscose. So again, like the other viscose, it would be really good for layering because it's super like light and flexible. So for this one, I am thinking the Seamwork Meadow top that has this like ruffle, almost like a clown collar, is what I think of. Now, I think it's beautiful. Clown collar is not a dig by any means. I think it hits that nice point of being like silly and quirky, but also like really actually beautiful. So that is what I'm thinking for this one. I really love the sample of the sheer like white textured fabric. I think that's really, really pretty. But again, I'm kind of going more the like eclectic side. So I think having it in a sheer will be really fun. And then these little cats. So I may wear the top on its own, but I'm definitely thinking of wearing it like under things so that like nice frill collar with the cats on it will be like what peeks out. I might have to adjust the pattern a little bit. I'm seeing from the photos that while it is like an O neck, it does seem to sit out just a little bit, framing the collarbones, which I think is really beautiful. But for what I want it to do, to be like layered under it, I probably need to go in a little bit. So either like draw the pattern in a little bit closer, or maybe even just take that like motif, that idea, and maybe put it back on the Helmi pattern that I know fits me really well and like sits right where I want it to, but then just change the collar. So that is what I'm thinking with this sheer black kitty fabric. So for this one, I wanted to play with like monochrome slash like analogous color pairing, but in different textures. So I have like this maroon stripe nylon knit with this, what is this? This is a cotton jacquard Fableism fabric. And so they're like very close in color. Now, I think this one is definitely like more of a red overall, like reddish pink, but then you have these woven in hearts that are more of the like purple that I think kind of pull out. Like I would still call this like a wine or a burgundy color, but it definitely leans more on the purple side of like wine or maroon, where this one is more red, but again, you have these little like purple hearts. So I think that they are a really fun combo together. And again, having those different textures in there, I think makes having the color palette be like having that be the same. I feel like it makes it cool and interesting. I'm hoping. So basically, I am hoping to do another Dawson top, so like turtleneck, mock neck view there in the long sleeve that I can use to layer with other outfits as well. And then if I was wearing it on its own, I'd probably wear like a little tank top, a little vest top underneath, unless I was like at a festival or something. And then so wearing this on the top, and then on the bottom, I want to make a skirt with this, and I'm really loving the skirts that have like an unexpected seam placement or like, yeah, unexpected gathered panel or like pleated section. And the pattern that I think I want to use for this is not a skirt pattern, but a dress pattern. And so when the Friday Pattern Company Wren wrap dropped, I immediately fell in love with the skirt. The top is not really for me. I don't tend to like wrap tops in general, especially not like wrap tank tops. But when I saw the skirt, I was like, oh, that would be so cute to just like throw on a little like waistband facing and then a little tie at the side. You have like a very interesting but very cute and wearable little wrap skirt. So that is what I am wanting from these two. These two pieces were both in my winter plans from last year as part of like different outfits, but they do go together really nicely, I think. And you can see I got started. I've got this cut out. So this is going to be a Brigit top from Pattern Scout, and it's in a very like thick, I would say this is a viscose double knit. I remember it being like 90% viscose and 10% elastane. So it's not a true ponte, but it does feel almost like a sweater weight. It's really, really nice. So I have it all cut out. I've even got it like interfaced. I've pre-pressed the hems, but I do need to actually assemble this one. So that's going to be the top in this really nice, like bright olive color. And then this wool, it's like a wool suiting, has been destined for the last like year and a half to be a Friday Pattern Company Bernadette skirt. I want to make the mini length version. I don't think I'm gonna do the little bag that goes with it, but I do think I'll do like a little belt and still include the belt loops. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I've loved having a wool skirt in my wardrobe last year. Unfortunately, I shrank it, which I feel very silly about. So I'm excited to replace that and have yeah, a wool skirt, a wool mini back in my wardrobe with a cute little knit top. So also from my plans last year was this Sylvie top that I never actually got any good photos of, but I wore this so much last winter and I really, really love. Yeah, the cowl neck is so, it doesn't look very great, just like being held up, but on the body, it drapes really, really nicely. I hacked it to have long fitted sleeves and I wear it all the time. And I think it is a really perfect match for this viscose fabric that I've had in my stash, yeah, like for ages, several years now. And I was holding out to make a dress with it, but I just never really found like the right pattern at the right time. And so I figured instead of just like continuing to hold out for a dress, like just use it to make a skirt. So I will have fabric left over, which I try to plan my projects not to have, but I just think like it's so pretty to stay sitting in my fabric stash when I have like several things in my wardrobe that would match really well with this as a skirt. Now, because of the like medium size scale of this print, and it's basically like a stripe, it's definitely directional. And yeah, I would not really want to mess too much around with like I thought about doing like a tiered skirt or something with like an asymmetrical seam, but I think because the pattern is basically stripes, I think I want to keep it really, really simple and just do like an A-line elasticated skirt like I made last year. I adapted the Meg pattern from Seamwork, which is a dress pattern that then I like lengthened to a midi dress or a midi skirt and also just like left off the dress part. It does come with a waistband though, which is pretty convenient for turning it into a skirt. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, just like keep it really simple and really let like the scale of this print shine. So those are my plans for this coming season and really like through the end of the year. Now, I found last year that I did really well with having like a stack of fabric to work through for a season. I didn't get to everything last winter, but it did really like kind of help stall the like analysis paralysis that I tend to get into, especially when like I look at my whole fabric stash and I think like, oh, there's so many things that I want to make. Like just having a limited stash of like, okay, when I have sewing time, these are the projects that I can choose from to work on. That definitely really helped me. Now with that, I also kind of had to contend with that this is my limit really for the rest of the year, given that like fall goes through December and I'm realistically like I'm not going to sew anything after December 22nd through, you know, January 1st. So, yeah, I had to kind of reconcile that my Make 9 is going to go unfinished this year. So, I've never completed my Make 9, by the way. It's something that I always plan for and learn from. It kind of helps keep me on track sometimes. And sometimes, in the case of this year, I think I learned that I just am not motivated to make trousers. And I just don't think that that's something that I want to sew. I always want to learn new things, but then when it comes down to it, especially like under like the time pressure that I have for sewing, I think I would just rather like buy trousers. I think I'd just rather buy my own pants rather than trying to make them. And that is kind of the conclusion I have come to. It also means that I won't get to sewing a jacket this year. I thought about putting a jacket and a smock dress and trousers in these plans, but ultimately decided that like I would rather prioritize things that I actually want to sew right now and things that I like need in my wardrobe more and like want to wear rather than like checking something off of a list for the sake of checking it off a list. The jacket plans will probably just like roll over into next year since that is something that I do want to try out. But I think like smock dress and trousers are things that I'm ready to let go of. So that is another thing that I learned in the planning process here. So I'm really excited to get into the actual sewing. I feel like I've done a lot of time on the planning aspects of things, and now I've got like all of my fabrics. I have most of my patterns like printed and ready to go. So I'm excited to actually get sewing. Yeah, I have already like started on one of these projects. This project like was from last year, so I'm definitely like itching to really get into the actual sewing bit of it. Yeah, as I said, like planning like this does really help me, even if I don't get to everything. And just having like that select bundle of fabrics to work through is really helpful because I need creative limits. Otherwise, like analysis paralysis will just take over my life and I will do nothing. So, yeah, I am glad that I spent the time to make the selection and give myself some boundaries, but now it's time to like actually get into the sewing. So I'm really curious to hear from you as always, like if this kind of planning is something that works for you, or if you are just kind of more like you can follow your inspiration and like make a decision really quickly and then just go right into the sewing of it. Yeah, I always love to hear different perspectives on creativity, particularly like within sewing. So let me know what you're planning or what you're making, what you're working on. What you're loving, what you're not loving, all of that stuff. You can either like comment below. You can go find me on Instagram. I will say I am like really actively trying to grow the channel a little bit. So I'm going to be having some different kinds of content coming up. And I would really, really love if you're not already subscribed to hit that button. It's not like I'm going to come at you every week or anything, but you'll see like my videos when I'm here and it really helps. So please do that if you haven't done that before. Yeah, give me a like and a subscribe, yada, 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 all of that like standard stuff. So with that, I will leave you. I hope that you have an excellent week of happy sewing and lots of fun, creative, like inspiring things. So until next time, happy making. Bye.